Hey, what's going on guys, Komakikins here. In this video I'd like to show you some games played by BBC Chess Engine with Stockfish NNUE versus BLITZ Chess Engine by BlueFiber Software, which is a legendary engine, and I've been learning to code chess engines based on that series. So I really love the BLITZ Chess Engine, and I really love the style of Richard Olbert, the author of this engine, also known as BlueFiber Software. And when I say that my engine has crushed BLITZ, it doesn't mean that I'm a good programmer and did something better that Richard Olbert did. Actually, the reason for this crash and win is the matter of embedding this Stockfish NNUE, which is known as, this is the abbreviation for efficiently updatable neural networks. So the idea is that it incorporates the scores for material and positional features, really lots of tons of positional features in single 20 megabytes file. So it's like a black box to me, to be honest. The only thing I did manage to do, I actually did manage to embed this technology into my engine. Also have a tutorial series on how to embed NNUE to literally whatever engine. So I'll give you a link in the description below this video. Feel free to check that out. Recently the Windows compatibility has been added, which makes sense for Windows users, hopefully. Anyway, so here are the results, and without further ado, let's quickly walk through some of the games. And let's start from okay, so this from the previous tournament. So let's start with this one, and I just want to load. BBC with NNUE is playing white, and BLITZ is playing black. And the first move, well, actually, yeah, I did set up the opening book, but I just need to say that NNUE version actually plays c4 on its own quite pretty often. So it's not only, so if there wasn't an opening book, it might be a game like this. But anyway, so the opening book is minimal just to give some variety to the openings in order to avoid some duplications in games. That's the idea. So this is the English opening, the book moves, and okay, so the very first move made by BBC Chess Engine was knight to c3. BLITZ responses knight to c6, d3, and you see, like, already, well, you know, like, this human-like planning is a really incredible feature of NNUE. So it's already kind of trying to crush through the center, and I really love how this stuff is going here. So again, like, this positional advantage is very human-like move. So engine would most likely, if not exchange, then maybe just protect the pawn. Well, it won't be exchanging because it's trying to avoid this isolated pawn anyway, but pushing the pawn forwards, it's really good from the gaining space perspective. So you see, white already has some space advantage on the queen side. It just keeps developing its pieces. And again, like, another interesting thing is this maneuvering. So well, actually, yeah, actually, I believe that knight was going to a4 to grab the pawn, not a grab to exchange on c5 one day, but as far as that wasn't on the cards anymore, it probably dropped back. But anyway, this is how it was going. And again, another thing, a Nimzovich like blocking piece, another positional masterpiece. So I really enjoy when knights are blocking the opponent's pawns in this sort of a manner. Well, this is really incredible to see, you know, like this behavior of a chess engine, because it's more like a human play. So the game was going, and so let's calculate the material. So equal on pieces, 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5. Well, actually equal on material, but, well, I personally believe, and actually yeah, so is this you just have a look at the evaluation. So BLITZ considers his position to be slightly better, believe it or not. So 0.13, so 1.0 it would be one pawn. So this evaluation is sandy pawns. So Weiss considers to be like slightly better. So Weiss is playing black, he considers to be slightly better. But you have a look at the evaluation by BBC, so he considers like, well, +5, it's like he's a piece up basically, and not just a regular piece, but about rook up or knight and bishop up, so it's really significant difference in scores. And why actually BBC considers he's much better? Well, because of the positional circumstances on the chessboard. So he really thinks that this pawns are gonna be queen in, and he just thinks that he's positionally much better, and that's the reason for giving such a big score actually. So this is how it was going further on. So this domination on queen side is really crushing, and even though still material equal on material, but now you have a look at the evaluation. Now even Weiss did realize that something has gone horribly wrong. It already sees like even though the material. Oh well, actually, yeah. Hold on a sec. I just missed a piece. Well, for some reason, Weiss gave a rook for a knight. Well, I'm not really sure why did he do this. Well, probably to avoid the b pawn from queening. I believe that was the reason. But anyway, the pawn seems to be unstoppable, and here is how we go in. So queening, okay, and now this is just the pure execution. So that's the first mate. The second game is a little bit weird, but also interesting. So I have no idea why that actually happened, but I just want to show you the second game because it's really strange. It's won by BBC as well. BBC is playing black, but if I remember everything correctly, black king went to a journey to the center of the board for some reason without much. Oh, actually, no, it's just fine because, yeah, it's fine because no queens on board. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just was thinking that I didn't really had a detailed look at this game. I just was thinking that the queens were still on board, and that's the reason for my confusion. But actually, without queens on board, centralizing the king is a really good idea. Again, like you just notice that king is blocking the opponent's pawns. Again, like Nimzovich like strategy for blocking the opponent's pawns. I really like this stuff. Okay, so this is how it was going, and it seems like that actually BBC just blundered the bishop at some point. And by the way, another interesting option here. So I've been mentioning that, well, probably I've been mentioning this in the previous video, that NNUE is used only in the first part of the game. Well, let's say in the opening and in the middle game and closer to the end game. But just you just have a look at this depth. I will now trying to explain what I mean actually. So yeah. Because this is already seems like non-NNUE, but just the handcrafted evaluation instead. I just made that to speed up the engine. Yeah. So here you see like Weiss is going depth 11, and BBC is only going depth of 9. So yeah, most likely here NNUE is still working on BBC because. With the handcrafted version, BBC is actually hitting either even depth as Weiss or maybe one ply dipper, maybe two plies dipper in some rare cases. But anyway, so here it's still kind of NNUE evaluation is used, but when we just exchange a bit more pieces, then it would drop back to the handcrafted evaluation. That's needed in order to not losing on fast time controls, because otherwise it would be just hitting, you know, like the depth of 3 or 4 plies at when the time is almost up, and even if it would be 2 queens up, it won't find a mate because the depth would be too low to find that mate actually. So in order to avoid those like confusing situations, I decided to use the handcrafted evaluation when it comes to the end of the game, and basing on the so-called game phase score. So that's the value that is calculated based on the availability of the material on the chessboard. So if there are not that many pieces, it means like we are closer to the end game, and then there is the threshold value. After passing that value, we're actually switching from an NNUE evaluation to the handcrafted one, because when you're material up, you don't really need those fancy features to outplay the opponent positionally. You just need to take your advantage and bring it to the winning position. Just checkmating the opponent, that's it. So for that purpose, this complicated NNUE stuff that is expensive from the performance perspective is not really needed. And by the way, for those of you guys who didn't know that NNUE actually slows down the chess engine significantly. So it's according to Daniel Shavel, the guy who's created the NNUE probe library that I've used in order to embed this NNUE to my chess engine. So he said like it's about 65% slower compared to handcrafted evaluation. So NNUE is about 65% slower. Well, obviously there are many modern fancy hardware accelerations, and so you can compile this with the various flags in order to make it faster, like they do in Stockfish and Cfish, which is the C port of a Stockfish chess engine. But anyway, I just try to keep things simple, and bearing in mind I was making a YouTube tutorial on how to embed this NNUE to whatever chess engine, I decided to keep things simple and just to embed this NNUE as a proof of concept. But even this non-optimized version crushingly wins. So this is how it's going basically, and yeah, still well. Okay, so starting from this position, well, probably it already uses the handcrafted version, because yeah, I think that here it already uses the handcrafted version, and this is how it's going. So it would just crush all the pawns, and that's it. So now just the execution. So you see like the depth is already to 16, 17 plies with NNUE and not really lots of time on the clock. This is not actually possible, but now it's just, we just need to queen the pawns and checkmate the opponent, so no need for NNUE here. We just need to checkmate, and the handcrafted evaluation is literally enough here. So we just switch into that. It's a little bit strange still to me why it can't see the checkmate. It should have started pushing the pawns at some point, but well, for some reason this didn't happen. I'm not really sure why exactly, but anyway, we have what we have. Probably lots of optimizations still possible. So anyway, let's go to the next game, and let's see from BBC's perspective again. So this is the opening variation. Okay. Well, why they call this Kensington Fianchetto Knight C3? Well, actually, oh my god, I forgot how this opening is called. I swear I remembered how how that was called. And here they call it now Grunfeld. I don't remember the name. Anyway, so here engine's already playing. So again, like you see, like Weiss is hitting the depth of 9 with its handcrafted evaluation, and BBC with NNUE goes to depth of 6. So this is kind of less. And let's enjoy the positional play by BBC here, or to be more precise, the positional play of Stockfish NNUE in particular. So see, like BBC, it seems like BBC has just sacrificed the pawn, and he's quite pretty okay about this. So just have a look here. He just sacrifices the pawn and doesn't recapture it back. Well, it could actually recapture it back without any issues. It could have just recaptured, but instead of doing this, it just trying to gain the advantage, the space advantage. And have a look at this queen. It's not ever going anywhere. You see, like, black queen is absolutely trapped here. Well, it's not trapped in terms of it's not gonna get captured, but it doesn't really have much places to go, so it's gonna out of the game completely. And again, like, absolutely fantastic positional masterpiece from Stockfish NNUE here. And again, like, another brilliant move. So it seems like, well, we're not actually sacrificing a bishop, we're doubling the opponent's pawns. So we have double pawns here, we have double pawns here. Okay, now we're recapturing our bishop back. We just dominated the d file here, so now we're going to the 7th rank, so totally dominated positionally here. Black queen is out of play completely, it's not gonna play in here. And let's see what's gonna happen further on. So totally blocking any possibilities of black pawns queening on a queen side, so they're not going anywhere. So these pawns are blocked. Well, these pawns might be a little bit dangerous, but without the support of the pieces, they are not going anywhere as well. So again, like, another interesting sacrifice of a pawn. So you see, like, it gives a pawn, tries to exchange the queen, and so very interesting play, you know, like, very interesting play. But yeah, it seems like that White has just blundered the bishop and the rook as well. Oh my god, what is going on here? Yeah, this is really getting interesting. So takes, and already here we're dealing with a handcrafted evaluation, by the way. Yeah, so he can't remove this bishop because it just there would be a check. So what he does, he goes here. Okay, what if it, I don't know, just playing some dumb move here? What's gonna be the response? I'm just wondering. Okay, still we're taking the bishop. Okay, takes. Oh, sorry, what has just happened? Is this some sort of a bug in Arena? Okay. I will probably use the analysis mode. Okay. So let's go for analysis. Rook takes f8. Okay. New variation. Rook takes d7. What? Rook f7 takes d7. Here. Well, this is a little bit strange. Why not to take? So bishop takes. Oh my god, this is why. Okay, guys. So yeah, I'm not a good chess player. So yeah, this is not the very great scenario, obviously. Okay, let's turn the engine off. By the way, BBC 1.3 with NNUE is analyzing now. So okay. And now he gives the rook. Oh, okay, now it's starting to make sense. So he gives the rook just to avoid white pawn from queening, just to prevent white pawn from queening. That's the reason, I guess. And now the same scenario, just crushing the pawns and winning the game. So total crush, huge advantage, and yeah, just queening, and the game is doomed here. Such a beautiful mate, almost in the center of the board. Okay, guys. So well, probably let's have a look at one last game. PGN list games. Another win by BBC with black pieces, and probably will drop here because all these games are really kind of look like each other. So. I will definitely give you a link in the description below this video to for the PGNs, so you can have a look at the games and analyze if you're interested. Okay, so the very first, this is opening book. Okay, we have the Queen's Gambit accepted. Interesting. So the first move by Weiss is Queen a4, which is a little bit weird to my human eyes. But anyway, this is how it was going. I don't know, like, when I see this piece setup, it's really like a human play to me, guys. What do you think? I don't know. It's really a human play to me. So see like how nicely the C file has been opened by BBC here. And this brilliant knight outpost, he would now go d5 and be just much better. Well, maybe not much better, but better. Yeah, it just actually goes knight to d5. Okay. Takes the... Okay. And just drops the knight back. Okay. Is he gonna play d5? I'm just wondering. Exchanging the rook. Takes. Okay. Knight d5. Again, like this blocking piece, like Nimsevich taught human players to do, trying to block, just trying to block pawns with the knights or bishops. Also is good option. Yeah, this is really exciting. And again, like another pawn sacrifice, just to make this point, just to make this pawns totally pointless. And it just recaptures them back. Okay. And at this point, again, it seems so based on the depth, I can assume that we are already playing without NNUE, because you know, like it's good to use NNUE to gain the fantastic positional advantage in the opening and in the middle game, and then when it comes to the end game and you already have that advantage, we just switching back to the handcrafted evaluation, and that's already literally enough to actually win the game, because we can just it's just a matter of calculation, so no much positional knowledge really kind of needed here. But I need to say that in this game in particular, Weiss is defending quite pretty nicely. Well, actually dropped the knight. Yeah, well, actually the game is doomed obviously, but still Weiss was trying to defend, finally losing a queen. Okay, total crush again, total crush. And this is it. Well, okay guys, so this is it from my side. I hope you've enjoyed the games. Make sure to test BBC with Stockfish NNUE on your own, because this is really exciting experience, both when you're trying to play it versus other engines or trying to play versus it as a human player, especially if you're well rated human player like 2100, 2200s, 2300s. This master level is... It would be interesting for you guys to play with this version, I believe. It plays in the style of Stockfish, but it's not that strong, so you have a chance. So that might be really interesting. Okay guys, so this is it from my side. I hope you've enjoyed this video. New tutorials on chess programming channel are coming soon as always, so I hope to see you in those tutorials in future. So until that time, and take care.